up, it's game time, everybody stand up. From my town to yours, we ready for sure. From the field to the court, yeah, we ready for war. This is 845, varsity man up. It's game time, everybody stand up. From my town to yours, we ready for sure. From the field to the court, yeah, we ready for war. I said it's game time.
Hey folks, Kevin Witt here, and this is the Varsity 845 Basketball Show. Mira Wasev and I will give you everything you need to know this week about local boys and girls hoops. We've got features this week on Section 9's Biggest Little Man, and a look at Division I college recruiting in local girls basketball. Mira and I also have our new top 10 rankings, and there's the ever-popular Plays of the Week. Before all that goes down, let's take a quick look at what's happening. Newburgh beat Cornwall 65-64 on Wednesday in one of the best regular season boys games I've seen in quite some time. Don't be surprised if both are holding Section 9 championship plaques. 2 days later, Newburgh won at Pine Bush 81-69, despite the night of Cleanthony Early's life. Pine Bush's big man scored from up close, from far away, and from all points in between. He finished with 48 points on 19 of 33 shooting. He also grabbed 17 rebounds. Elsewhere Friday, Burke Catholic crushed Sullivan West 86-40 and took over first place in Orange County Interscholastic Athletic Association Division IV. Seward got back into the Division VI race, beating the Family School by 29. In the MHAL Division II over the last week, Red Hook beat New Paltz, which beat Aniora, which beat Red Hook. So that race remains wide open. On the girls' side, Cornwall is playing well after eking one out against Warwick. Kingston is still on a roll after a big win at Menacing Valley, and Monroe-Woodbury and Coleman Catholic haven't slowed down either. Chapel Field is quietly becoming one of the premier teams in the section, while Christy Morano's hot shooting has propelled Highland into the conversation as to the best Mid-Hudson Athletic League team. Our first feature is on Marcus Henderson, who you have no trouble picking out at a Newburgh basketball game. The tradition here at Newburgh Free Academy is for its boys basketball players to be big, athletic, and be able to just jump right out of the gym. But this year there's an exception. His name is Marcus Henderson, and he's only 5'4". Oh, and by the way, he's the starting point guard for the state's 18th ranked Class AA-18. Talk a little bit about the job that he does for you guys.
His job is excellent. He's speed. Nobody can really stay in front of him. He handles the ball very well and controls the tempo of the game.
Henderson has been the smallest kid on the floor all of his life, but if you think that's affected his confidence, guess again.
But I laugh sometimes like, wow, I'm really this little and I can be scrappy when I want. So it makes me more determined and dedicated.
Coach Frank DiNocenzio brought Henderson to the varsity last year as a sophomore, so Henderson clearly isn't intimidated by his surroundings. How is Marcus able to overcome his size disadvantage on the floor?
Well, first off, Mark doesn't think he's small. Mark is a tremendous ball handler, and he's very smart. He understands the game itself. I know teams try to trap him. You can't trap him. He's almost impossible to trap if he doesn't want to be trapped.
What do you think people's reaction is when they see you coming out on the floor?
I feel that they say, oh, he's little, he might come off the bench, he might not do this and that. And then when I come in the game, they'll be like, oh, that's Marcus Henderson? I didn't know that was him. He's so short and quick.
Moving on. Kingston's Rachel Coffey has been one of the area's best players since she took the varsity court as an 8th grader. Now a junior, she's no longer a secret outside of the area. Here's Mira Wasev.
It was a playoff atmosphere at Slade Hill last week when perennial rivals Kingston and Menacing Valley hooked up for their only matchup of the regular season. Kingston guard Rachel Coffey got the better of 6'5" center Stephanie Dolson in last year's section finals. While Dolson made a verbal commitment to national powerhouse UConn, there was a big-time ACC coach eyeing Coffey from the stands. University of Miami coach Katie Meyer can't talk to or about Coffey under NCAA rules, but she shed light on what it takes to play at the Division I level.
The ACC is one of the fastest conferences in America, and I think the difference between high school and college isn't so much the speed of the game, but it's how much mentally you have to make adjustments, and you have to make them on the fly. You know, you really don't have time to pout. you don't have time to feel sorry for the mistake you made 2 minutes ago, because if you wait 2 minutes, you're probably a 10-point swing in the game.
Coach Meyer picked a good game to travel 1,300 miles to see. Kingston led most of the way and took a 6-point lead at halftime, but Menacing Valley pulled within 3 heading into the fourth. Then it came down to Dawson and Coffey trading baskets in the last 5 minutes. It's unusual for head coaches to make recruiting trips during the high school season, but it does speak to the level of interest Miami has in Coffey.
I think when you come to a high school game, you get a real feel for the character of the kid, what kind of leader she is. So I personally enjoy coming to high school games.
Coffey gave Kingston the lead for good on a drive, and the Tigers went on to a 50-42 win. In Slate Hill, it's Mira Wasef for Varsity845.
Now on to this week's Boys and Girls Top 10. Mira?
Starting with number 10, Tuxedo. Has 3 starters averaging in double figures. Number 9, Highland. Christy Morano is on a torrid scoring spree. At number 8, Menacing Valley. Needs the offense to catch up with the defense. 7, Wallkill. Headed for a showdown with Cornwall in the section finals. Number 6, Warwick. Slips a bit after back-to-back losses to Cornwall and Monroe-Woodbury. Number 5, Chapel Field. Grace Hodges and Lindy Felix complement each other's games. Number 4, Coleman Catholic. Has separated itself from the rest of Class D. Number 3, Cornwall. Has played 4 state-ranked AA teams and has a big game against Minnesota Friday night. Number 2, Monroe-Woodbury. Big rematch with Kingston Friday night. And at number 1, Kingston booked the trip to Troy.
Let's move to the boys. Number 10, Goshen. Returns to the rankings after it beat Menacing Valley. Number 9, New Paltz. A tough team when it's at full strength. Number 8, Red Hook. Drops 2 spots after its shocking loss to Aniora. Number 7, Kingston. It's getting hard to keep faith in these guys. Number 6, Washingtonville. Continuing to climb and keeps improving. Number 5, Pine Bush. We'll get another crack at Monroe-Woodbury and Newburgh. Number 4, Menacing Valley. Rebounded from the Goshen loss with a win at Kingston. Number 3, Cornwall. State-ranked in Class A and nearly knocked off Newburgh. Number 2, Monroe-Woodbury. Can't suffer a letdown Tuesday at Burke Catholic. And number 1, Newburgh. Holds on to the top spot after surviving at Cornwall. It's time for the plays of the week. Now remember, if you've got something you want to send us, email us at sports@th-record.com and we'll get you through the process. Remember, we can't be everywhere, even though we'd like to be. So here we go. Here's Kingston's Devon Dunlop, submitted via YouTube, making his point against Middletown. Cornwall's Kelsey McDonald with the steal. She finds some room, dribbles the length of the floor, and lays it in for 2. Here's some Monroe-Woodbury teamwork. Michael Kennedy grabs the rebound. Outlet to TJ McPite, who makes life easy for Marvin Jean. Menacing Valley's Stephanie Dolson with the steal. She dribbles, takes a little contact, takes a little more, turns, and hits the short jumper. Well, that's it for this week. Check back every week for the Varsity845 basketball show. Check the whole site for all sorts of cool stuff, and we're talking numbers galore. Coaches, if we're missing something, please tell us. This is our project, but we're doing it for everybody. For Mira Wasev, I'm Kevin Witt.
Game time, so it's time to score. If you're not playing to win, then what you playing for? From the field to the hardwood floor, win some and lose some. Just give it your all, whether it's basket, base, or football. It's all American. It's on when the season's here again. PYP, gotta play your position. Gotta go hard, give it 110. Fans cheering in the stands, yeah, you gotta love it.
845, varsity man up, it's game time. Everybody stand up for my town, we yours. We ready for sure. From the field to the court, yeah, we ready for war. This is 845, varsity man up, it's game time. Everybody stand up for my town, we yours. From the field to the court, get ready